Hey, what's today? Is it Friday? It doesn't feel like
It's
Friday, but I did get
I
paid,
feel like
so
I was
that's
at the
great. So thanks, Melody, for joining me here. We're doing Back to Classroom, where we are looking at add-ons that, can you take my name off?
yes,
There we
I sure
go.
can.
We are looking at add-ons that link in to Google Classroom. What are apps and things that we use to help make Google Classroom even better? So I do work for Schoollytics part-time. I code for them. So I'm going to show you a little bit of Schoollytics today. I'm also a big fan of Moat. That's something I use a lot with my students. I really love to give that personalized feedback. I want to use Screencastify to get, again, I want to be interacting with my students. So I use that to screencast their work and give them video feedback. Formative is just an amazing tool. It's formative assessment. Hey, Ryan, thanks for being here. I'm excited that you have my Jamboard book. I have it close by as well. Thanks for joining. Formative, Pear Deck, and quizzes are all tools that I use in my classroom. I am a classroom teacher. I teach part-time high school math, and so I'd like to share with you some of the things that I use. Now, obviously, we are Google Classroom users. That is the focus of these talks, is going back to classroom as we get back into going back to school and we have students doing work in Google Classroom. I first highly recommend that you're consistent. Put everything in Classroom, whether it's graded or not, whether it's digital or not. It's just having that transparency of what's going on in class. So, common thing I'm often asked is, what am I missing? What's my child missing? Students, what do I need to turn in? What do I need to do? Yeah, thanks for that, Melanie. She's getting the comments down there for me. And so when we're consistent about putting in classroom and returning work, we are able to get that information to know, okay, are students staying on track? Now, Melody, you've taught. How often do you think you were making missing assignments reports or anything? You had to look that up. You're on mute.
Yeah, it's okay. I know when I'm on mute. I'm pretty good. I missing assignments report. I was pretty I was probably telling parents all the time about missing assignments. I was elementary, and it was just easier for me. But I love this because I had to do individual reports, and that took a lot of time. Took a lot of time away from my family trying to do all of this stuff. So
Right.
What you're about to show today just kind of blows my mind because it's not hard. It doesn't take a lot of time, and you could do other things.
Yep. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Whoop, I already have it here. Okay. So we're just going to look at missing assignments reports for Google Classroom. I have actually already opened up a Google Classroom. I have a fake student in it, so we can take a look at that. Now, what you're going to do is if you go to the People tab in Google Classroom, so that's what I did, is I went to the People tab in Google Classroom and I clicked on Krista Weller's name. Krista is not a real person. This is my pretend student that I have in my class. And so from there, this is individual student view. So I can expand out and see if we've had any private comments together, and I can link back to the assignment. You'll notice when I click on it, it says view details. I always hold down the control key when I view details so that it opens in another tab. I don't want to expose other people's names, so I'm not going to jump there. You can see here on the right where it says missing. Now, what you can do in Google Classroom itself is there's a filter on the left-hand side that says missing, so you can get what these missing assignments are. So that is one way that you can find those missing assignments, and I oftentimes will just copy and paste this into something. Now, if I come up to the upper right-hand corner, you can see that it has an email icon or an envelope. I'm going to click on that, and it allows me to email the student or guardians. Why is this not opening? Okay.
Oh, I like that. That's like
here it is. It's just slow. All right. I think the StreamYard's making it. There it goes. Usually I'm like, it's instant. I click it and this pops up. It's going to pre-populate the subject line, and you'll notice that it defaults to student. I can select that and change it from student to guardians, or I can change it to students and guardians, and I can include the student work summary. So without checking the checkbox, I'm just sending a message.
To yourself?
Thank you for asking.
Oh, no, it
that.
says to students.
Yeah, I did select the default is to the student, and I did want to switch that so it's to student and guardians. Now, if your students don't have email, then this isn't very good. They won't get it if they don't have email. It is sending it through email. It does not go through Drive, and it does not go through Gmail. So if you go look in your sent messages, you're not going to see that this went. So, but this is a great way for you to let parents know, include the work summary. It's going to put basically a screenshot of that individual student view. Go ahead and send that.
Oh, I like that.
What you're going to see, they're just going to get this, where I'm able to click and expand and see details, work that's attached for the student. If there's any comments, I'm going to be able to see those comments here where I can view the details on that particular assignment. The parents won't. So just so you know, it's just basically just a screenshot of what the assignments are. I'm going to go ahead and go back to my slides that I have here. And if you turn on Guardian Summaries, so you go into the settings of your Google Classroom, it gives you the option for Guardian Summaries. Now you have to manually put in the the guardian's email address into Google Classroom. You go to the People tab, and next to each student, you would add it. That does link the email to their profile, so that another teacher that has that same student also has the guardian's email address in there. So it only has to be done once.
Okay. Right. So you would put that in the very beginning when you're setting up your Google Classroom. Like that's when you put all of your parent emails in, and then it's there. Okay.
Yeah, I would go to the People tab, I'd find each student, and make sure that they have a guardian. Now at this point, unless you're teaching kindergarten, it's very likely that the previous year's teacher had put in the email addresses for your students. And so really it's just those new kids who came from out of the district, hopefully are the only ones that you're going to have to be adding. But you never know. Maybe you have to do them all. And so, but if the first period teacher puts it in, it again is linked to the student's profile. So the second, third, fourth, fifth period teacher will all take advantage of your hard work, and it will be there, and it's there until you remove it, right? Okay, so then what happens is the parent will get a notification that they've been invited. It probably went to spam, so make sure that you're alerting parents. Please go check your spam, and they can choose if they want it daily or weekly. And so they're going to get an email either every day or every week giving them a summary of what's going on. So it's going to show, hey, these are things where the due date has passed and they didn't submit it. So it's unsubmitted. It is unsubmitted and past the due date. Do you see how it just gives this little stripe here with no details? It's not clickable. It's just informational. Hey, number 56 wasn't turned in. And then the other thing that it's going to give you is things that are upcoming. Now, if they don't have a due date, they do not show up on the summary. The Guardian Summaries is only things with a due date. It's not a full progress report. If you want to send the full progress report, that's what you get from clicking the little icon in on the People tab with the student name and sending that email that I just showed you with the work summary. Setting the work summary sends the progress report. Okay, cool. That's what we can get out of Classroom. And those are some great resources. But I would really like to show you today Schoollytics.io. So if you go to Schoollytics.io, make sure you get the HTTP on there. Actually, I'm going to do this. Full thing. There we go. This is free for teachers. So that extra information is not going to cost you extra. You just be able to go to Schoollytics.io. And now I'm going to click Live Demo. I'm going to look at the demo data down here. Otherwise, you're going to click Login in the upper right-hand corner, and that's going to let you log in and see your information really fast. And that's what sold me on this. The first time I went to Schoollytics, I clicked on login. I'm like, oh my gosh, this has all my student information in here. It's got what assignments they've submitted, what percent of the time they complete their work, and it was like this. Now, I code Google Classroom using AppScript, and it's very slow to get that information. And so I'm like, I want to work for these guys. They know how to do it fast because I only know how to do it slow. So I'm going to click Live Demo. I'm going to let that load. Just give it a second. Now, what you're looking at here is the administrator view. Administrator view is not free. That the teacher accounts are free, not the administrator accounts. So you can see that I can look at data across schools, across grade levels, teachers, classes, students, and I can see which students in the school aren't really doing work. But I'm going to come up to the preview role. You see up at the top, there is a drop-down menu. In your account, you would not have a drop-down menu.
Okay.
All right. Your account, you'd be logged in as teacher. So I'm going to go ahead and go to teacher. I'm just going to click on teacher. Now, I'm not going to get into this today, but there is a parent and student portal where parents can log in and see these nice charts, and students can log in and see these nice charts and then different information of what's missing. That is available. That is part of the admin package. That is not free. The parent and student portal. So just to be aware, I'm going to switch to teacher view. So immediately when I log in, you want to make sure you're looking at, okay, what is the date range? So you'll see that I have, this is a sample thing, so it's got some old dates on it, but it's going to give me a date range, and anything that I look at is on the date range. So it's for the last month. It's for the last 2 weeks. If you want it all the way back to the beginning of the school year, you will want to modify the date. Okay. So then I see these give me great information. I can scroll down. I can see with my classes, and I can drill down to particular students. Now, what you'll see on the left-hand side is it says Missing Assignments Report. And I have multiple ways to get there. I'm going to go ahead and click on Missing Assignments Report. And this is going to show me how many missing assignments each student has. Now, one thing I really like is that it does it for all my classes. So I can look at one class, or I can look at all of my classes, or some mix there in between. So I'm not having to log out and log into different classes there. I can see, okay, here's all my students, and all of these titles are clickable. So I'm going to click on Missing Assignments. And I see Rhonda is only missing 1 assignment, and Johnny's missing 4. So now it's sorted. I'm going to click it again, sorts it the other way. Arnold is missing the most. He is missing 20, and I'm very concerned about this. So, and this, by the way, you can do a filter. So you can see, I didn't even have to type the whole thing. As I start to type in the student's name, it filters it down to just that student to make it a little bit faster to get there. And then I've got the assignments drill down. I'm going to click on this icon. So I see he has 20. I'm like, well, what are they? Great question.
Yeah.
So I'm going to click on this, and it's going to show me all of the assignments that Arnold is missing. And these hyperlink, now this is a demo class, so it doesn't actually go anywhere. I don't actually have access to this class. This is a demonstration. But you can see these are all hyperlinked. So I'm like, okay, Arnold didn't turn in homework 9.A. I could click on this and go to Google Classroom and leave him a private comment or interact with him on that assignment pretty easily. You'll notice, again, I have all of these filters that I can do. Are all of these 100 points? If I click on it, everything's clickable. Okay, all of these are 100 points. So let's say they weren't. I want things that are less than 50 points, or I only want to look at major assignments, so more than 70 points. You can type those filters right in there. You can filter for particular assignments or dates and date ranges. And so I'm going to go ahead and click on Email Student Assignments. Now, right now, I don't have a nice PDF or a Google Doc for this. I can let me download this as PDF. Let's see what that looks like. I believe it's just like a screenshot. But we have a lot of things coming. We have a lot of reports and features coming, so you should expect to see that. So yes, when I download this as PDF, here it comes. You can see it's the screenshot view. So we will get those into some nice reports, but we can just click here, email student assignments. And you're like, Alice, my students don't have email. They don't have email. That's okay. It will automatically put their email address on there, and it lists them, and it would have, where it says null, it would have the link to the assignment. So I'm sending the student the actual link. So it's not just a list of the titles, but also how to get back to it. If your students don't have email, just highlight it.
Right.
Control-C, copy, Control-V, paste it into a Google Doc or anywhere else that you want to communicate that information. I will usually take this and paste it into the private comments. I'm like, you're missing this assignment, and here's all the other ones that you're missing. And so it really helps me communicate that out. And this is my regular email. So I'm like, oh, I don't want to send it to Arnold. I want to send it to, parent, administrator, whatever. I can certainly send that off right there. But what I really love is just really how easy it is. So I just go to Schoollytics.io. I am going to, in this case, do the demo and switch it to teacher, which normally you would not have to do. I can find students on the side or missing assignment report. I'm going to click on students this time. And I'm going to be able to drill down. So I'm going to drill down here on Eugene. And I can see.
Poor Eugene.
Down there. That's all of Eugene's assignments. You see, it's not filtered.
Eugene, what's going on?
Yeah. It's not filtered for what's missing. So what I'm able to do then is choose, like, I want anything that has a grade less than 30. You can see these have no grade at all. I'm going to go here to the next page. Come on. Next. What happened here?
I was thinking
like 30. That was my problem. There was nothing less than 30 besides the stuff I didn't grade. So I'll do less than 80. And so then I'm going to get the assignments that have a low score, not just the ones that are missing. If you look at the assignment state, we have a new assignment. They're returned. What I want to look for is, and this fake student doesn't have any, so let me get another one. I'm looking for created. So here's
Gerald.
their assignments.
Yeah.
New, returned. Okay. I'll just put returned. So you can filter. So now these are just the assignments that have been returned. Let me go over here. We're going to find this. I have my missing assignments report. And Gerald has 18 missing assignments. These are the assignments that are missing. So I can get those pretty easily. Again, for this 4B, what's the status on that? I'm going to go back to students. I'm going to click on Gerald, where's 4B? These might not match. Okay, here we have 4B.
I love how you can just get what you need so easily. You can filter everything, it's awesome.
Yeah. Here we go. Here's the ones that are created. That's what I'm looking for. I was looking for a status of created. Perfect. I was like, these don't have any. Okay, so I click on created. I type in created rather into the filter. Now these are the ones that are missing, right? They have not been submitted. They've only been created. They have not been turned in. They've not been returned. So you can actually create your own custom missing assignments just by using the filter. So I'm looking for ones that are created. And for some reason, he has scores on these, but I can change, that they have no grade, that it's, less than 50, 80. I have to deal with the data I have. None of these are less than 80. Less than 90. This is what happens when you use sample data. All right. So I'm able to just filter those down and find those assignments that either low scores or are missing just by looking for the status of the assignment or whatever the grades and dates are. Okay. Do we have anybody have any questions?
Ryan had to go, but he says he's loving Schoollytics. I am too. And I love it. When you get that parent and student part going on, I hope that you'll let me be a part of that because that's my jam. But I love it. I just think any way you can lift up students, support them, and hopefully you wouldn't, you'd know your student before they had 10 missing assignments, 11 missing, the highest missing assignments isn't an award anybody wants to get.
That's true. That's true. But it is definitely helpful to just go into Schoollytics and go to the missing assignments reports, and it just tells you a straight up number. You're missing 12.
Right.
Currently, what I have to do is I have to manually count it, essentially. I can go to the people tab, I click on the student, and I can filter for what's missing, but then I have to be like, there's 12 of these.
I love that. I also love that you can keep your students involved in this. I think the more that they are taking part in this and then it links back to the assignment, I think that's just wonderful. It just helps them to go, there's no mystery. Like, here it is, just leads them right back to where they need to go.
Yeah.
Great job. Great Schoollytics for the win.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining. I hope that you'll check out as you go back to classroom how you can find those missing assignments for your students by using Schoollytics.io, and you have a great day. Yes, please join the Facebook community, backtoclassroom.org. If you go to backtoclassroom.org, that actually just takes you to a Facebook group that you can join, where we're going to be talking about tips for Google Classroom and things that connect really nicely with Google Classroom.
Bye, everyone.